Okay, would you just stand here? Over there? Yeah. When we stand like this is just the namaste in India. It's not the prayer. If you want to stand like this, it's fine. And you're not bowing to the statue. It's a feel gratitude for life, okay? Because I don't have much time to explain. For a moment, just trust me. Okay, let me see. Spotlight for everyone. No, I don't want to do that. Gallery, did I get the netcast on? Let me see. Yes, we're all in. Good. So good, good, good. Record it here. I think I did everything. Okay. Uh, how do I do this? Let's see. The scent just brings the nose in to remind us of the moment. Again, it's like music to the ear or beauty to the sight. It has no, again, it's just about art and reminding the heart of something. Okay? Right? Okay. Hello, can you welcome to Zazenkai? This is Zazenkai as always. Today I'm not wearing the kesa. I don't know why. Something in my heart says I have to just step back for a moment. But the ceremony goes on. I'm going to join with everyone else and we'll sit Zazen. Zazen is what's important. Okay? All right. If you've been here before, you know what to do. And if it's your first time, just following along. I believe Geika is our Eno today.
I just have one question. Jundo, can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
can
can
you
see.
hear?
Yeah, we can see you very well. You're kind of, frozen at times. But Geika didn't give us bells at the beginning. Would you like me to do the bells for the prostrations, or do we
You do
just
the
start with
bells.
her chanting?
You
Excuse
do
me?
the bells. You do the
Okay,
bells.
okay,
Okay?
okay, okay.
This is just feeling gratitude. You don't have to go. Oh.
Akahanya haramita shingyo. Kanji zaibo satsugyo jinhanya haramita jishoken go on kaiku doi saiku yakushari shishikifu ikukufu ishiki shiki sokuze kuku sokuze shiki jusogyo shiki yakubunyoze shari shize shohoku sofu shofu metsufu kufu jofu zo fugenze koku chumu shikimu jusogyo shikimu genni bize shinmi mushiki shokomi sokuho mugen kainai shimu nishiki kai mu myo yaku mu myo jinnai shimu roshi yaku mu roshi jinmu kushu metsudomu chiyaku mu tokui musho toko bodai satai hanya haramita koshinmu kege mu kege ko ukufu onri isai tendomu sokugyo ne hansan sesho butsue hanya haramita kotoku wa nokuta rasan yakusan bodai kochi hanya haramita zedai jinshu zedai myoshu zemu joshu zemu totoshu nojo isai kushinjitsu fukoko setsu hanya haramita shu tokusetsu shu watsu gyate gyate hara gyate hara so gyate bodhi soaka hanya shingyo.
This is a traditional ceremony that's done in China, it's done in Vietnam and Korea. I'll explain about it. Consider it music.
The identity of relative and absolute. The mind of the great sage of India is intimately conveyed west and east, while human faculties are both wise or dull. In the way there are no northern or southern ancestors. The subtle source shines clear in the light. The branching streams flow in the dark. To be attached to things is primordial illusion. To encounter the absolute is not yet enlightenment. All spheres, every sense and field intermingle even as they shine alone, interacting even as they merge, yet keeping their places and expressions of their own. Sights differ primarily in shape and character, and sounds in harsh or soothing tones. The dark makes all worlds one. The brightness distinguishes good and bad phrases. The four elements return to their true nature as a child turns to its mother. Fire is hot, water is wet, wind moves and the earth is dense. Eye and form, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, the sweet and sour, each independent of the other, like leaves that come from the same root. And though leaves and root must go back to the source, both root and leaves have their own uses. Light is also darkness, but do not think of it as darkness. Darkness is light, do not see it as light. Light and darkness are not one, not two, like the foot before and the foot behind in walking. Each thing has its own being, which is not different from its place and function. The relative fits the absolute as a box and its lid. The absolute meets the relative, like two arrow points that touch in midair. Hearing this, simply perceive what is, make no criterion. If you do not see the way, you do not see it even as you walk upon it. Walking forward in the way, you draw no nearer, progress no farther. One who fails to see this truth is mountains and rivers away. Listen, those who would perceive this subtle matter. Live well your time by night and day. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of Great Wisdom Sutra and the identity of relative and absolute, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, honored one, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen, honored one, Soji Kaizen, honored one, all successive honored ones up until Zuigaku Rempo, honored one, and Gudo Wafu, honored one, and to all other honored ones throughout history, same yet diverse honored ones whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus, let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
Zazen? Okay. I'm going to explain to him about the Zazen, so you can kind of sit, but you can listen, maybe a refresher course. Okay? You wait right there, and I'm going to show you some things. Okay. Kinhin? You know Kinhin? Oh, so straight in the middle. Yeah. So let me show you your slippers. In Zen, so your slippers are very important position of art. Oh, look at your slippers. That's just the bracelets. It's a little tricky, but you have to do it by holding on without falling off. Please don't fall off. But right now, back and forth. Right? Okay, take a deep breath. You stand up. Look. Listen up. Yeah. Stand up. Okay. Sit there. Turn right. Put the one part facing to it. Down so. Turn right. Now we can take it. Continue to take this fist. Here. Just the rest is same as Zazen. Eyes just a little open. Looking down. Breathe through it. Don't grab it off. Don't make a judgment. Here's the difference between Kinhin and usual walking. Human being walks to get something. We have something to do. Kinhin is different. Kinhin is when your breath reaches the top, you step back forward. Step to step. It's a different system. When you're walking from here, there's no other place. Here. That would be moving through. Only here. Only here. Only here. This is the goal. This is the destination. This is the goal. There's no income. There's no bottom. There's no reason you're trying to get it. If you're here, the purpose is being here. Which is nice in life, when wherever you are in life, how old are you? 47? 47? 46? 40. Many years. But when you're 46, just here. When you're in your job, which you think, where's my next one? Yeah, fine. That's what you do. But also, just here. There's it. I actually have to be there. I have something to do. So you just do what he's doing. Keep walking. But you need to have to no. Zazen? Or you can face the wall, or you can face the room as you like. Okay? Find it first. Is that right? It's tricky. Good. We will have a long Kinhin. We're going to have a Kinhin now. It's about 20 minutes, but it's actually also a break. If you need to take a break, I'm going to drink some tea. If you want to walk in here, it's okay. Do anything except to check Facebook. No fault for it. So get up, same way. Be very careful because sometimes I have to catch people. Great. continue for a while, or take a break. After this, I'm going to give a talk on a very traditional teaching. Again, during the teaching, you can give me, you can just listen, you can ignore me, or you can say something, or everything. So I'm going to introduce. I'll do this. We will now have a little talk and Zazen. You guys can have some tea, you can sit Zazen, you can drink. There's what I'm going to be talking about today. You can listen, you can, as I advise, ignore me, anything you wish. Okay, but that paper has, and it's that paper has what I'm talking about, and it's all self-service, American style self-service. Beyond, I kind of almost changed what our dance today, but I decided to go with the Lamar Kendrick after all.
Oh, so you're going? Oh, okay. I already have the other one ready.
No, do the Kendrick. Okay?
Yes.
I'll tell one. Make yourself comfortable. You can sit. Yeah. It's a long talk, so.
I don't want dancing time then.
What?
Dancing time's later, right?
Something?
No, the dancing.
Oh, the dancing? Actually, I'm not going to quite dance today.
Okay.
We're going to have a kind
All
of
right.
silent something, but you can dance.
No, I'll be alright.
Leon, would you recite the verse to open the precepts?
We actually have Geika with that.
Oh, great.
Yes. Give me 1 second to bring her up.
The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered but rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you all for being here. Make yourself comfortable. You can drink and listen or ignore what I'm saying, or you can sit Zazen, or like my cat I see in the window, just sit there and stare at the birds as you wish. Today we're going to finish our talk on the Shinjinmei, and I want to mention, no, I'm not wearing the kessa today. And this is not the time or the place to get into it for long, but I discovered when reading the Shinjinmei today that it's going to all connect. And so I just want to briefly say why. I'm not taking the kessa off forever, but this is kind of a protest at myself. It's there was a recent discussion in the forum, and it's not because I think I was going to put the kessa on this morning, and I felt that I should not put on the kessa as a protest of my own failings to help all the suffering children enough, and to do enough to end violence in this world, the war, and it's the homelessness, the poverty, and it's a feeling of personal responsibility. I am not worthy to wear the kessa right now. I'm not taking it off forever, but it's my own protest, not just at myself, for all Buddhist priests. We need to do more. Now again, as you're going to see, today's talk says when you help the person right in front of you, when you move a single stone or grain of sand, you're changing the whole universe. So I'm not criticizing in any way. Look, I'm talking here to a relatively small group of people. I'm not filling any stadium here. And that's wonderful. This talk, which I do week after week, is precious, even if nobody comes. I would give it, maybe. Well, maybe not if nobody comes, but if one person came, I would give it. And that's what our Shinjinmei passage is about today, really. To help one person is beautiful, magnificent. Wow, it is the Dharma personified. It is to be honored and celebrated. And so is to help the thousands of people in the slums and the millions of people who are suffering in this world. And I feel so helpless that I do not deserve to wear something right now that represents service, because I'm failing. I'm failing and inadequate, and I am breaking my vows every day because I cannot help, we cannot help these people. So that is why I'm sitting here without a kesser for a while. And you don't have to listen to me, since I'm officially not the teacher today. But then again, you never have to listen to me. So, and it's okay. And by the way, most people don't listen to me. Even in my own house, I can't get my kids to listen to me. It's okay. It's okay. But right now we're going to talk about the Shinjinmei and closing it. And it's the last section. And if you have not been here for the other sections, I think we have some folks who have not been here the whole thing. It does not matter. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the Shinjinmei, almost you could take any line, any word of the Shinjinmei, put it anywhere else, and it would fit just as well. There is no beginning and end. It's not the conclusion. The wisdom we're talking about today was in the middle and the beginning. As the Buddha used to say, good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end. So this is not the ending. This is just the same wisdom we've been talking about, expressed in slightly different words. The teaching has not changed. The Shinjinmei, like old Jundo here, says the same thing ad nauseum. That's what I do. Just constantly repeat myself. If you were here 16 years ago at Treeleaf, you would have heard the same talk. I'm sorry. I don't know why you people keep showing up to hear the same thing every week. But here is what it says. We already discussed that the title means something like Song of Trusting in Mind, but it's also completely interchangeable too. So I keep just tossing up the words, and this is what I got today. Oh, I somehow ended up accidentally with a double song, but that's okay. I got the Mind Song, Trust Song. That works too. That's our title for what Shinjinmei translates for this time as the Mind Song, which is the Trust Song. Sometimes it's the trust in mind, the song of the trust in mind, but I like this, the mind song, which is the trust song, because the mind is, well, I'll just leave it to percolate with you without trying to put a meaning on it too much. But it starts, in this world of suchness, there is neither self nor other. And this is the central teaching not only of Buddhism, but of so many Eastern traditions, philosophies, even I would say many other philosophers and mystics of other religions have discovered this. And I'm going to say even physicists these days have discovered that the borderlines between ourself and everything in the rest of the world we consider not the self, not as hard as we think they are. You hear me say every week something like the bird is the fish flying in the sky, and the fish is the bird swimming in the sea. Yeah, I mean that literally. It's just hard to experience. And this teaching and the Zazen we do is a thousands of years old technology, method to get us to experience this a little bit. The rest of the world and all the other sentient beings, the leaves on the tree, the grass, even the ugly things, the rusty tin cans, the war, the suffering children, the homeless. It's you and other guys. The homeless are you homeless. And you are the homeless with a home, like that. Sometimes I even say something that impresses me for a second. I got to think, I'm going to have to sit with that a little more later. That just came up. But it's true. You are the poor with a little money. The poor are mostly middle class from what I'm seeing. Mostly middle class us without. Now here's the thing. Part of our practice is we need to recognize and soften the borders between self and other, because only feeling like a separate self in the world. Where's our guest today? Where is it? Hi, back there. Oh, he's sitting. Okay. I just want to make sure. You okay? Yeah, we got it. Okay. Only sitting, being a separate self in the world, is where so much of our suffering comes from. Because as you hear me say again, week after week, when we feel as a separate self, we keep bumping into the rest of the world, which just doesn't fit our expectations. It doesn't always do what we want. And even if when it does what we want, it doesn't stay that way. You know, just when you get the birthday present you always wanted, 5 minutes later, life hands you something else in a bucket. But when we drop the hard borders of self and other, and the demands that the other be as we want, all the Indian philosophers and Buddhist teachers said, we discover that there's a certain wholeness and everything is okay just as it is. So this teaching is teaching us to get past the hard borders of self and other, and when we sit Zazen, those borders soften and sometimes drop away completely. And you really experience you're the bird flying in the sky and the fish swimming in the sea. Trust me. Have a mind of trust. Trust me. You really kind of, I'm not saying you feel wet suddenly and you're at the bottom of the ocean, but you understand what that means. The hard borders of yourself and the rest of the world soften, sometimes completely drop away, and all the not self world and you turn out not to be anything other than a face of each other somehow. And yet, this is where it comes in. If you only live one way, this is not telling you to only live one way. You have to live the other way too. Of course, we can't only live with no borders. We can't live thinking we're fish. They'll put us in the loony bin. Man thinks he's a fish. Or you know the old joke? My husband thinks he's a chicken. Woman goes to the psychiatrist. Says, my husband thinks he's a chicken. What should I do? And the psychiatrist says, oh, I think I can cure him. And the woman says, yeah, but I still need the eggs. Okay, so I'm not saying you should literally feel you're the chicken or the fish, but you are. And so we have to also remember that we are the other. And that's why I'm not wearing the kesete. I told you this is all going to tie in, because the other is the suffering, abused children and the people on the battlefield and the poor and the homeless. And just today, I don't think I'm doing enough. And my vow is kind of broken right now. Okay, so, oh, someone's showing up. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. Got another visitor. To come directly into harmony with this reality, just simply say non-dual. Non-dual, not one, not two. It says fu ni. Fu ni means not two in Chinese, Japanese. And this non-dual again is to remind you that all these teachings are true. You are not two with everything else, but it doesn't say you're one either. You're both, and yes, and something more. You're you, I assure you. Don't worry, don't have to look at your driver's license. That's still you, okay? but you are the fish and the bird and the chicken. And you are the homeless people, all of it. But if you want to realize the peace of this way, also recognize that you're not just the separate person you think you are. You are the wholeness of it all. Here's our talk for today. You can drink some tea. Sorry, no sandwiches today.
No problem.
Sit Zazen if you want.
Okay.
Okay. You know the drill by now.
Thanks.
Okay. In this non-duality, nothing is separate and nothing is excluded. Slipper. Yep. Nothing is excluded. The whole world includes everything that's in the world. That's kind of an easy mathematical definition. The whole world is the whole world and everything in it, which are not different. And that includes you. And you're all of it. All wise ones everywhere enter this source. And this source is beyond hurry or delay. It says enter, but again, the mystics will tell you this is not something really you can enter because you've been there all along. So when we say enter, you got to be very cautious. I'm entering this state. I'm realizing something. What you're realizing is you've kind of been what I'm describing here all along. You just didn't realize it, you see. And our Buddhist practice, our Zazen and all the rest of it, is to help you realize that, oh, wait a second, I was feeling so separate. I'm not just that. So you're not really entering something because there's no place it's not. And this source is beyond hurry or delay, and a single thought is 10,000 years. We rush in life, and yet truly there's no place to go because it is right here and everywhere. And that's the reason we sit Zazen, putting down for a time the need to get anywhere else but the Zafu cushion where we're sitting. And even when we walk Kinhin, we're not rushing to get somewhere. Kinhin is the practice of stepping right here, right here, right here. So where are we trying to get? There's neither hurry nor delay to Kinhin. And a single thought is 10,000 years, and a single action is everything. And that's why I'm so impatient. Because we're not helping the suffering children and solving the poverty and violence in this world fast enough. That's true too. And one action is everything. It is so true. If I just help one person right here in this room, I've kind of done everything I need to do. But then what about the thousands in the slums and the billions who are hungry, right? So everything here also has two sides, you see. But if we have to realize that truly everything you do is the only thing to do too. And it's wonderful, it's beautiful. And there is no place to go. But sometimes I hope this world gets to a better place and fast. Because we're running out of time. It's kind of that feeling. See, many sides to this. Here and not here do not apply. I've already explained that. That's what I'm saying. Everywhere is here, here is everywhere. And yet we're here. The infinite universe stands always before your eyes. Same. Infinitely large and infinitely small, no difference. Like I said, the Buddhist smile is everything. One blade of grass is everything. Helping one person is everything, but also helping millions is everything. One drop of water is the whole ocean. The whole ocean is a single drop of water. Yet we need to clean up the oceans. It's a very complicated world. See, everything I just said is true. It's not either or this. It's not either you're one or many. It's not either you're many or one. It's not either the ocean is perfect as it is. It's not every drop of water is perfect as it is. It's not that we need to clean up the oceans. It's not that we don't need to clean up the oceans. That is all true, all of it. And unfortunately, sometimes we only realize part of it. Our teachings here are to realize that those perspectives are all true. Infinitely large, infinitely small, no different, for definitions have vanished. When we're sitting Zazen, all the categories and definitions vanish. You hear me again say this week after week. Me versus you, the tree versus the star, the car versus the ant or the rusty tin can. These are names and categories in our mind that are, I'm not saying they're not real. There's a car that is not a rusty tin can, and I'm not a tree. I'm not a chicken, and my wife gets no eggs. Well, she does get eggs, but when she sends me to the store. But okay, all true. But we sit Zazen and somehow we drop a bit or a lot or totally, depends, all the separate categories and divisions. The car that is not the rusty tin can, because there's a hard border there, this is a car. I learned this when I was about, I guess, a year old. That was one of my first words, car, which I learned was not chicken, or, this is what we learn as language. I think when we're infants, Noam Chomsky Roshi says, we're not born with this sense of hard divisions. It's just the big mush. I don't know what we're born into. It's not really a wholeness. We say it's ignorance. We're born into the big soup where there's not this great division. And suddenly, eventually, about 1 year old or so, we say, oh, car. I think at the time I pronounced it car, or something like that. And we learn, tree, and tree is not car. And if we think tree is not car, we get a bad grade in school. And then we got to learn to spell it. C-A-R is not T-R-E-E. And suddenly we're living in a world of division and things, which we need to do, otherwise we can't function. That's why the infant needs someone to change his diaper, and we don't. Well, most of us. I'm getting back to that again. But soon I'm going to forget at a certain age. And it's okay, because all we're doing is returning to the wholeness, you see. Why do we cherish the little baby? Because it has its future in front of it. But the person at the end of life who's returning to the wholeness, oh, no, he's losing something. You're losing nothing. What you always were, you're rediscovering. You're wiser than everyone when you're old. And the words start to fall away, you see. Anyway. Infinitely large, infinitely small, no difference, for definitions have vanished. Infinitely small and infinitely large, no boundaries are seen. Being itself is non-being. Again, I'm not going to get into this, but my joke is that if Hamlet had been a Zen Buddhist, he would have had more choices than to be or not to be. Ba-dum-bum. We live in a world where, again, the category we draw in our mind is things come, they exist, they disappear, things are born, they die. I have a can of soup, I ate the soup is gone. I have the egg, I made an omelet, the egg is gone. There's a chicken, it was an egg, the egg is gone, it's now a chicken, things come and things go. And Buddhism says, not so simple. Not so simple. It's the wave on the sea rises, the wave on the sea goes down, but the sea is there all along. Sea hasn't become less the sea because the wave, which is the sea, has risen and fallen. That's the best example I know, so I also repeat that ad nauseum. Well, so being and non-being, not so simple. And non-being is itself being. Okay? Now, something this week, I could have used a reminder of, don't waste time in doubts and arguments. This is true. What are we fighting over? My candidate, your candidate are both the sea. My belief and your belief are both the sea. What I think is right and you think is wrong is both the sea. Whether we help the suffering children or don't, all the sea. What are we fighting about? That's true. And yet I also think it's time sometimes to speak up for what you believe in. And not everyone's going to agree with you, and you have to be prepared for that. As long as you're not trying to be mean or say something you feel is wrong or deceitful. If you think you're trying to say something that helps, it doesn't matter if people misunderstand or it annoys some people or they leave because they don't want to hear what you say. The cancel culture, it doesn't matter. If you think it's good, you have to speak up. But yet, let's not have arguments. Let's not fight. Let's speak civilly, debate, disagree. We've lost this art in the world. We're just fighting with each other in this world. And I don't want to fight. But we can disagree and debate, civilly, be reasonable. But some people still will not understand, and it's okay. You can't convince her. Show me someone who has managed to convince everybody in the world. Even Jesus couldn't do that. Even Buddha can do that. Even the Buddhists don't all agree on what Buddhism is. Nobody can convince everybody of everything. But try to say a good thing. And those who hear will hear. But let's not fight. Don't waste time in doubts and arguments. Oh, wait a second, there's that have nothing to do with this. So I guess it's okay to argue about things that do have to do with this. I'm a lawyer. I found a technicality here. It doesn't say don't have doubts and arguments. It says don't have doubts and arguments that have nothing to do with this. So it's okay to have arguments that have to do with this. I found what we call a Buddhist loophole here. One is all, and all is one. Isn't that the Three Musketeers? Wait a second. Oh, that's all for one and one for all. Okay. All right. One is all. The Chinese and is beautiful, and all is one without distinction. I'll tell you, setsu means cut, and soku means immediately, and ichi means one. You got it? Soku, immediately, setsu, cut, ichi, one. Now listen to this. I soku ichi setsu. I setsu soku ichi. It's beautiful. Take my word for it. Or if you don't know some Chinese, study a little. It's beautiful. I soku, I setsu soku ichi. One is all is one without distinction. To just be thus is to be without anxiety about pronouncing anxiety and anything else about non-perfection. That's why we sit and we practiced here a little, just sitting without demands for perfection. The sitting itself is perfect. And then we realize that when we get back to this life where things are so imperfect, from the things in our little personal life, our personal problems, to the dirty dishes in the sink, to the hungry children, it's so imperfect, but yet at the same time, there is also this wholeness and this perfection. That is. And now I've also realized I've got a little quandary here that I'll have to deal with. I am not the wasp and the wasp is not me, and the wasp is a living being, and I've got some wasps who started to make a little nest under our sitting place here, and I'm going to have to take care of him later. And I mean in the mafia sense of I'm going to have to take care of him. Got my drift? He's going to be sleeping with the fishes, the fish that we are. And I'm not chicken about it, but okay. Anyway, so you see, this is a world of dilemmas. I am the wasp is me. I take a vow, I shall not kill, right? Avoid killing. And I got wasps in my zendo. I studied what the Buddhists do about these situations many years ago, and there was a wonderful advice from a Chinese priest, and he says, here's what he does. He comes for 3 days, and he says, wasp, will you please go away? And the Dalai Lama had a wonderful video about this too. He does it with a mosquito. Wasp, will you please go away? Then they put a little sign. They literally write a sign, and they stick it there. This is a written warning, like you're getting evicted. Wasp, I'm being a little firmer now. I've put a sign. Wasp, will you please go away? Okay, you've been warned. And on the 3rd day, sorry, wasp. And now we recite the Heart Sutra to remind ourselves that the wasp was just me wasping, and I am the wasp killing the wasp. Like that. See? It's a complicated world. But it is non-perfection. Non-perfection means not perfect like human beings demand. I want perfection. No, it's not that. And it's not imperfect. Oh, it's not up to my standards. We say non-perfection, which is, shall we say, a wholeness so what it is that it's beyond my little personal preferences of perfect or imperfect. That's how perfectly what it is it is. No, it's not perfect for me to have a wasp under my sitting bench here. Certainly not going to be perfect for the wasp that I'm going to smush him. But yet there's a certain perfectly what it is wholeness to the whole thing that we taste here. So when you see a word like non-perfection, it means just what it is perfection that includes my personal preferences of what I think would be perfect or what is imperfect. The trusting mind is without duality. Non-duality is the trusting mind. We just trust in everything I said. I'm not saying just trust me. I'm not a used car salesman. That's not way. I meant we trust in the teaching I said. Trust in that there are these non-dual views. Trust that there's something right about this world, even when it looks so wrong. And trust when you sit Zazen, that Zazen is all of it just right. Here the way of words is cut. Get by all the different words. Without past, without future. Notice this, without even present. It's so whole that how do you have a present when you have no future or past to compare it to? People say be in the present. That's not enough. Be in the whole thing. Beyond past, present, or future. Because it's all just the sea, man. Every second of your life is the whole thing. And yet, be a foolish old priest who writes something called Buddhism of the Future and thinks about tomorrow and also teaches something 1,000 years old from the past, right now. Learn from the past. Be in the present. Build a good future. That's all true. Okay, one final word, because I got to explain our little hokey pokey today. as some of you know, I've been writing recently that from what I understand as a non-scientist, these terrible things are being developed that for good or bad, like AI and all these things, whatever Elon Musk is up to this week in rockets to Mars, and he's got mind reading that's actually working. Have you read about this? They actually can read your mind. Now, not exactly, but more than you imagine. You just think of something and the AI can read your brain waves and say, oh, you're thinking of a fish or a chicken. It's true. Don't trust me. I post about it. Anyway, all these terrible things. And I said, okay, boy, the Pentagon's going to use this. The rich people are going to use this to get richer, and all the corporate, whatever, everyone, And I said, but I don't think we could stop this stuff. Sorry. Write your congressman. Do whatever you want. I support it. I love it, man. But I think it's going to, because I know how this world goes. You cannot stop. What is it? You cannot fight City Hall, but you cannot stop Wall Street and all. You cannot stop this. It's coming. So I'm saying we have to think of ways to use this stuff, or try to morally get people to think about using this stuff to feed the children, to end the violence. Okay, we have to start talking about this. What's wrong with talking about this? Nothing. And I want to talk about it. Because if one thing will help save one child, then that is the universe. But if one thing will help save 1 million children, all the better. So we're going to talk about using these other ways. And I said part of it is there's violence in our DNA. And people say, oh, he's talking about the DNA. He's Dr. Mengele. And I'm saying, no. There's violence we're animals, okay? We are animals. There's violence in our DNA. I'm not saying like I'm the island. Remember that movie, The Island of Dr. Moreau? This is not what I'm talking about. I'm saying modern research and scientists might be able to do some things to make us a little less violent. It could be 1 million things, from the psychiatrist's chair to me sitting here preaching about it, to whatever it is. There may be some ways that the Buddha never thought of 2,500 years ago, that Dogen never thought of 1,000 years ago. There must be some ways, okay? And I don't know what they are, because I just asking scientists, please, why don't you, instead of trying to build better soldiers all the time, instead of trying to make better whatever you're trying to be, better workers for the factory, whatever you're trying to do, instead of rich people trying to make your children a little more intelligent, can we maybe somebody work on making us a little more compassionate too, a little less horrible to most of us are not violent like that. I haven't killed anybody, only a wasp I've killed, but I've not killed any person that I'm aware of directly. But there are those people. Can we do something? Okay, so the joke was he's talking about DNA. So I decided our dance today, people are he's talking about DNA. Oh, it's terrible. He's talking about DNA. I'm not saying I'm going to have a laboratory in my house and do experiments on people, folks. I'm just saying we live in the 21st century. We can talk about these subjects. It's not terrible to talk about these subjects. So I put up today the DNA dance. One of them is beautiful. I think they're science students, and they form like a conga line, and they do how DNA splits and comes together again. It's really creative. And the other one is from a rap singer named Kendrick Lamar, who I have to confess, I have listened to some Kendrick Lamar. Here's my friend right here, Chris, who, I mentioned Kendrick Lamar, and I believe your comment was, oh yeah, great. Is that true? Just raise your hand if that was what you said. Fine. Okay. He's got this song called DNA. And I thought, okay, it's cute. I'll put that up. That'll be our dance today. And you cannot dance to it. You can't. At our age, it would be dangerous to dance. I will throw my back out again if I try to do anything like it that's in that video. But I want to say this. When I looked at the lyrics, I still don't know half of what he's talking about because it's like most lyrics. He's all over the place. But there are lyrics in there of, my dear DNA has violence. And then there are a couple of lines in there like, I sit in contemplation. I sit in meditation. Then I get up and kill the MF. And I said, yeah. And he said, that's my DNA. And I said, I don't know why, but that is the song that sums up what I'm feeling and why I'm not wearing my kesa for a while. Because in this animal that I am, man, we're falling down. We're falling down. So you can dance, and for some people who object to this, I put up the standard hokey pokey, turn the sound down. You can put the sound up on the hokey pokey. You can dance the hokey pokey. As a matter of fact, you can dance if you're spry enough, dance to Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to just stand today. That's my dance. Also kind of in protest of myself. I'm not dancing the happy hokey pokey today. I'm going to stand and listen for a few moments to what Kendrick Lamar says about the ugliness and the beauty and the peace and the Zazen and the killing them MF that's in my DNA. And that's also my protest. Bjorn, would you, anyone got a question about this? Anyone dares got a question about this? You're probably all scared out of your minds by what this guy's talking about. Thinks he's a chicken too. Anybody got anything? Okay. Bjorn, would you take us out? Or Geika, would you take? Thank you, Geika.
Give me 1 second to bring her up.
Sure.
Also, thank you.
Any questions back there? No? Okay.
Just 1 second.
May the merit of these teachings penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together may realize the Buddha's way. All Buddhas throughout space and time. All Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha, Prajna,
What happened to Paramita? You guys still there? I didn't hear the Paramita. Okay, something happened. If Bjorn is, hopefully, Bjorn, you still there? Okay, I'm not hearing Bjorn, but hopefully this is going to work. Otherwise, I'll turn things on here. Let's dance.
I think it's beyond that froze.
Okay, if we'll see. Otherwise, I can turn things on here. But we're now going to stand or dance to Kendrick Lamar, which is a song of beauty and ugliness. You can dance, man. Life is a dance, or stand as you wish. Okay. Where'd you get up? Get up. Bjorn, you still there? We lost you? Okay, I'm going to do this old school by putting the microphone near the speaker and just hit it, okay? This is how we used to do things back in the day. Okay, give me a second here. Hopefully this is going to work. You all can hear me? Give me a wave.
see magic, link conception, I transform. Contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. This is my heritage, all I'm inheriting. Money and power, the maker emeritus. Tell me something, can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation, your DNA an abomination. This how it is when you in the matrix, dodging bullets, reaping what you're sowing, stacking up the footage, living on the go and sleeping in the. Salute the truth for the prophecy.
We did it old school today, Bjorn.
I'm sorry, my connection dropped dead. I apologize.
Life and death are states of mind, Bjorn. Let's see. Anyone need to stretch? Everybody okay? Zazen? Everyone will have a long Kinhin. Very good. Now we're going to walk from here. Again, go outside. We will now recite the meta verses and then a little more Zazen. Again, for this part, you can sit where you want or relax. And let me give you this stuff. I'll be with you in a second. Be back in a second. I don't know if I gave you. These are the chants for the weekly and also for today. You can some extras. You weren't here, and also what we're going to do now. Would you do me a favor? Take these home. If you're going to use them, like you want to come recite with us, would you put them in a cover or something so I don't have to print them out everything? Let's see. Yeah, this is, that's not what we did. Just stretch, make yourself comfortable. You must be all tired. Okay, here's what we chanted. And what we're going to chant now is this metaverse. Okay, and I'll explain what that is. And you get one. That'll be $5, please. No, just you don't take money. I suggest if you want to do something, give it to someone. I live in a nice house. I don't. Okay, that's one of the reasons I couldn't do it. Here you go. And this is also where we're going. So if you want to come back ever and you'd like to chat with us, there it is. Okay. Okay. Make yourself comfortable. All right, it's time for the metaverses. Now we got some. Oh, wait a second! I gotta get the microphone. It's still over there. We got some people who stand for this whole thing. You're more than welcome to do that, but just sit down. That's fine. Everybody here okay? Okay, good. So we have another first timer, though it actually turns out not a first timer at all. You've been sitting with Treeleaf for a while, and he's right in the neighborhood here. You don't be a stranger now. You stop by from time to time, all right?
Okay.
All right. But the metaverses, as you all should know by now, is a nice tradition from South Asian Buddhism about wishing loving kindness to others. That it's a practice that has become very much cherished in many places in the Western, especially Western Zen world, because it's a nice thing. It's a very nice thing. And for a while now, I've been trying to do it with a theme. We usually do it, of course, the traditional way is we start with ourselves, then someone we love in our family, then a friend, then a passing stranger, then the difficult people, right? We don't forget them, and then all sentient beings. But I'd like to do it again as a theme. Now, again, I'm kind of out of uniform here. I'm not the priest, so, but someone's got to lead the guide this, so here I am, okay? But I'm kind of ambiguous here, but okay, here I am still sitting here, and I hope to guide you today. We're going to chant on the theme I was talking about before. First, for all the suffering children everywhere. Then for all the poor and homeless. I'm looking at my nice house here. I was just commenting. Okay, I'm feeling a little Buddhist guilt, all right? I'm kind of upper middle way. You got what I'm saying? And there are a lot of people not living here to have a barn to have Zazen, right? I got a barn. This is my own barn. How many people own a barn? I'm very fortunate. I got my own barn, right? Got a garage. So we're going to chant for all the people who are poor and homeless. Then we're going to try to chant for all the people who are trying to help them. I'm talking the social workers, the teachers, the policemen who are trying to be helpful, the hospital workers, anyone who's trying to help the kids who are suffering and the poor and the homeless, the volunteers, even the government officials whose heart are in the right place and they're trying to do something. You and me, when our heart is in the place. We're going to chant for all of them. Then we're going to chant for the difficult people, which means, I don't know how to put it, the abusers and oppressors. And it's hard for people to say, why am I wishing the abusers and oppressors health and happiness? Because if they were truly healthy in mind and body and peaceful in heart, they wouldn't be oppressing and abusing. That's why we chant for them. Okay? That's the logic behind it. So if you think, why am I chanting for these bad people? So they're not bad people. All right? So I'm going to recite the chant. I don't have my, oh, would you hand me the bell? That's up where it's the red handle. Thank you. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you. I got my official bell. Even though I'm out of uniform, I can still ring a bell. So here we go. First, for the suffering children everywhere. May they be free of suffering. May they feel safe. Really feel this when you say it. Imagine a kid, what you really wish for that little kid. May they feel safe and still. May they be free of enmity. Enmity means hate. May they not grow up to know hate too. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving, grateful. I don't know how they could be grateful for some of what they face, but grateful for, hopeful maybe. May they be hopeful. I'm going to substitute a word today. May they be loving, hopeful, and kind. Grow up to be kind, even after all they've been through. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. And may they be free of the abuse or whatever it is they're suffering. Okay. Now we're going to chant for the poor and homeless, hungry people, which I am certainly not, and I don't think anyone here is right now. So, may they be free of suffering. May they feel safe and still. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving, grateful somehow, and kind. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. May they have food, good food, healthy food. May they have shelter and more. You need more. Man does not live by bread alone. Okay. Let's see, what's next? All the people of all kinds. And I'm going to toss, yes, you know me, the scientists in there who are working from their angle, even to help somehow to invent food or whatever they're doing, to stop the abuse, the hunger, the poverty, the social workers, the policemen, the parents, just the caring neighbors, whoever it is. May they be free of suffering. May they feel safe and still. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving, grateful, and kind. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. And I will add, they have endless energy to keep going and helping and never lose heart. Okay. Oh, now the hard one. For the abusers and oppressors themselves, which I'm going to include all of us in some way. We all kind of walk by. We have to. I went to India a few years ago, and like the old story goes, beggar after beggar came to me, and I just had to walk by. And I slept at night in a pretty nice bed, even though I was in India, and I had good food. Okay. For the oppressors and those who do ugly things, may they be free of suffering. May they feel safe and still, because if they did, they wouldn't do these things. May they be free of enmity. May they be loving. I'm going to triple underline that one. May they be loving, grateful, and kind. May they be healthy, because I don't think they are. Somehow. Something's wrong. It's a disease. May they be healthy and at ease in all their ills. May they be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. And may they somehow stop it, change. Okay, now for all sentient beings, and remember what I said before, we all have the little kid in us. We are the little kid, we are the hungry, even living in our nice house or with our own problems, we are the oppressor too. And I mean that. You all got it in you, folks. Under other circumstances, I think we all could do terrible things. I'm not so proud to say I'm beyond that. And we can all do tremendous good too. We all got that in us too. Your better angel is truly there. Okay? All right. May we, all of us, be free of suffering. May we feel safe and still. May we be free of enmity. May we be loving. And if we're loving, let's be more loving. Can't be a little more loving, can't be bad. Just a little more. Grateful. A little more there? Yeah, you're grateful? Be a little more grateful. And a little more kind. No matter how kind you are. I see some folks here who look really sweet. I'm sure you're gentle, kind people. May we be healthy. It doesn't hurt. But because we're not always healthy, may we be at ease in all our ills when they happen. May we be at peace, embracing all conditions of life. Okay, so for a few minutes, I often say Zazen is not a matter of long or short. You heard the Shinjinmei say that. It's not a matter of long or short, it's rushing or getting someplace, you know. Long Zazen is long Zazen. Short Zazen is short Zazen. It's all Zazen, right? So right now we're going to sit a few minutes of Zazen, and it's kind of a sit where you are Zazen. There's, you know, sit. You want to cross your legs? Cross your legs. You want to sit where you are? Sit where you are. Want to stand on your head? Stand on your head. Master Dogen even said, ultimately Zazen, even though right after he recommends sitting there crossing the legs or anything, he said, but you know, It's not really a matter of sitting or lying down or standing or walk, it's all those things. We sit because you got to do something, right? Sitting's nice. Crossing the legs, really nice. It's balanced, it's nice. But there's no rule that's only that, So I don't know. You want to hang from the ceiling by your feet. Chris, can I tell you, our physical trainer, I've seen he actually does this. Okay. Chris, get your thing, put your feet in, hang upside down. Okay. I've seen you do it. All right. That's Zazen too. All right. So sit where you are, anywhere you want for a few minutes, and I'm going to ring the bell. Oh, Chris, I was kidding. You're allowed to laugh during Zazen sometimes. Oh, Chris. Okay, I don't care what you're doing. Please, everybody look at the screen. Chris, you're crazy. Oh, okay, there you go. Let's sit. Chris, don't hurt yourself. I know you're in better shape than anybody I know, but okay, thank you. Made my day. Marcos. If you gotta go, you gotta go. You okay? Come on. We will now recite the verse of Atonement and the for vows. Again, I'm kind of in priest limbo today, so I'll be with the chorus back here.
Jundo, could you make me co-host again?
Oh yeah, we lost you as co-host.
Yeah, so I can share the audience.
Chris, you have made my week. I hope you don't mind. I gotta cut that somehow, put that up. When I said, to hang by your feet for Zazen, and he did it literally. Did you see that? You were facing the other way. You can see. I'm glad I didn't say, okay, whatever you do, jump out the window. It's Zazen. I'm glad I didn't say that. Okay. Make the own co-host. There he is. Okay, we're going to recite. If you want to stand, this part is stand, just be respectful. This chant is about all the bad things we did this week. Try not to do them again, and keep going. You can read the details later.
all harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind. Now I atone for them all. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable.
No, somebody's got to put the candle out, so that'll be me. I want to thank Geika Azino. If you're wondering why she's talking so slowly, she lives in a house. The only time she can do it is early in the morning. She doesn't want to wake anybody up, and that's why she's whispering all her chants. I want to thank Geika. It was lovely to have you here. Chris, you're absolutely crazy. All of you, thank you. I hope we'll see you again since you're in the neighborhood. All right. Be gentle. Be well. All right. Love you all. See you later. I gotta turn everything off. I know.
I trust you with anything now, so you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. I only mess it up half the time. All right. Here we go. Okay. Thanks, Fiona. Couldn't have done it without you, man.
Wait.